In the vast, sweeping landscapes of the American Midwest, where the sky stretches endlessly over fields of gold and green, there are stories etched into the very soil. I've journeyed to this place, Illinois, not to see the bustling cities that many know, but to find the quieter corners, the forgotten pockets where life moves to a different rhythm. Here, tucked away from the roar of progress, communities that once thrived now stand as silent monuments to a time gone by. The wind that whispers through the tall prairie grass seems to carry tales of both prosperity and loss, of lives lived and dreams deferred. My journey takes me into the heart of these towns, places where the human spirit is tested against the slow, inexorable march of change. Visually, this world is one of stark beauty. A lone hawk circling high above a deserted main street, its shadow gliding over cracked pavement. The delicate dance of dust motes in a sunbeam slicing through the window of an abandoned factory. These are not merely images of decay, but portraits of endurance. Each peeling facade, each rust-stained relic, is a testament to a complex ecosystem where human lives are interwoven with the forces of economics and nature. We will explore these landscapes with a quiet reverence, listening not just to the sounds of the present, the gentle creak of a weathered porch swing, the distant call of a cardinal, but also to the echoes of the past. This is a story of survival, not in the untamed wilderness, but in the heart of civilization itself. It is an exploration of how communities, like any living organism, must adapt when their environment changes, or face the prospect of fading into memory. Join me as we uncover the hidden struggles and the surprising resilience of these Illinois towns. Our journey begins in the south, in a place called Grayville. Here, the Wabash River flows with an ancient, unhurried pace, its waters reflecting a sky that seems to hold its breath. The town itself mirrors this tranquility. At first glance, it is a portrait of pastoral peace, a sanctuary from the frantic pace of the modern world. Old homes with wide porches stand sentinel along quiet streets, their gardens still tended with care. The air is clean, the silence broken only by the chirping of crickets and the distant lowing of cattle. It is a landscape that invites contemplation, a place that seems to whisper of a simpler, more settled existence. But listen closer, beyond the surface calm. The quiet here is not just of peace, but of absence. The dwindling chorus of children's laughter in the park, the shuttered windows of what was once a bustling grocery store, the empty pews in a beautiful old church. These are the subtle signs of a community in retreat. The population, like a slow receding tide, has been pulling away, leaving behind a silence that is profound and, at times, unsettling. The young, like fledgling birds, have taken flight in search of nourishment elsewhere, leaving the nests of their childhood to an uncertain fate. The economic ecosystem that once sustained this community has faltered. The fertile ground for opportunity has grown fallow, and the jobs that once anchored families to this land have vanished, carried away on the currents of a changing world. Those who remain are the hardy perennials, deeply rooted in this soil, their faces etched with the stories of this place. They are the keepers of memory, living amidst the ghosts of what was, their resilience a quiet but powerful force against the encroaching stillness. In Grayville, the peaceful atmosphere is a delicate veil, masking a deep and silent struggle for survival. We travel north, to a place whose very name speaks of its origins. Root House. This was once a vital artery in a great iron network, a bustling hub where the rhythmic clang of steel on steel was the town's very heartbeat. The railroad was its lifeblood, bringing with it not just goods and travelers, but purpose and prosperity. The streets, now so quiet, once echoed with the shouts of workers and the hiss of steam from magnificent locomotives. It was a place of constant motion, a critical node in the system that fed the growth of a nation. The very layout of the town, its bones, was shaped by the path of the tracks. Today, the pulse has weakened. The great iron beasts no longer thunder through with the same frequency or force. The economic currents that once converged here have been diverted, leaving the town in a quiet eddy. The streets are now marked by a profound stillness. Storefronts that once displayed the latest fashions and wares now stand vacant, their glass eyes clouded with dust, reflecting a silent, empty street. The Grand Depot, once the bustling heart of the community, now stands as a monument to a bygone era. Its platforms empty, its waiting rooms devoid of anxious travelers. The population that remains is a testament to endurance, but it is a community growing older. The young have followed new tracks to different destinations, leaving behind parents and grandparents to watch over a town slowly succumbing to the quiet siege of time. The once vibrant social fabric shows the strain of this exodus. Roothouse is a living example of how the fortunes of a place can be so inextricably tied to a single, powerful force. When that force recedes, it leaves a vacuum, a silence that speaks volumes about the fragility of progress and the enduring legacy of what is left behind. Following the languid curve of the Illinois River, we arrive in Meredosia. Like so many river towns, its destiny was shaped by the water that flows beside it. The river was its provider, its highway, and its reason for being. For generations, the life of the community was tethered to a single dominant industry that rose from these banks. This economic powerhouse was the town's spine, supporting families, funding schools, and building the very homes that line these streets. The rhythm of the town was the rhythm of the plant, the shift changes, the plumes of steam, the steady hum of production. But such singular dependence is a precarious state. When the world changed, and the economic wind shifted, the town's anchor was pulled from the riverbed. The great industrial engine sputtered and fell silent. The closure was not a sudden cataclysm, but a slow, creeping paralysis. The steady hum was replaced by an unnerving quiet. The falling incomes were not just numbers on a ledger. They were empty cupboards, postponed dreams, and the heavy weight of uncertainty pressing down on every household. The lifeblood of the town began to drain away. Now the evidence of this slow decline is etched into the landscape. Vacant homes stand like hollow shells, their windows dark and empty, their yards slowly being reclaimed by nature. These are not just empty buildings. They are the ghosts of departed families, silent reminders of a community's shrunken form. The people of Meredosia who remain navigate this new reality with a quiet fortitude. They are living within the shadow of a giant that has fallen, their lives forever altered by the fading pulse of the industry that once gave their town its singular, vibrant identity. Our journey takes us to the shores of a small lake, to the village of Dupuy. Here, the relationship between a community and its industry is written not just in its history books, but scarred directly onto the land itself. For decades, this was a place of immense production, a hive of industrial activity that provided livelihoods for generations. The smokestacks that once dominated the skyline were symbols of progress and prosperity, their plumes of smoke a sign of a healthy working town. Life here was hard, the labor demanding, but it was a life of purpose, built around the predictable cycles of the factories. Now, the factories are shuttered, their colossal forms standing as silent, rusting skeletons against the sky. But their departure did not cleanse the landscape. Instead, they left behind a lingering, toxic legacy. The very ground here, the soil that should nurture new life, is contaminated with the byproducts of that industrial age. The shadow of the past is not just a memory, it is a physical presence, a persistent environmental wound that resists healing. The shimmering lake, which should be a source of life and recreation, is viewed with caution, its beauty tainted by an invisible threat. The people of Dupuy live within this shadow. They are bound to this place by history and by home, yet they contend daily with the consequences of a prosperity that has long since vanished. Hope for renewal feels like a distant concept, dimmed by the sheer scale of the environmental challenge. It is a stark reminder that the cost of industrial progress is not always paid by the generation that reaps its benefits. Here, the struggle is not just for economic revival, but for the very health of the land itself, a battle to reclaim a future from the enduring grasp of the past. In the eastern part of the state, we find a different kind of hardship, one defined not by industrial collapse, but by a profound and pervasive sense of isolation. This is Hopkins Park, a village where the landscape itself seems to dominate. The homes are scattered, separated by wide open spaces and tracts of sandy soil where little seems to grow. It is a place of vast skies and a low horizon, where one can feel exposed, a small figure in an immense, indifferent environment. The settlement feels less like a cohesive town and more like a loose collection of solitary outposts. During the day, a deep quiet settles over the village. There is little movement. The scarcity of jobs means there is no morning rush, no steady stream of commuters heading out to earn a living. The land itself feels abandoned, as if the human footprint here is light and temporary. The few remaining businesses struggle to survive in an ecosystem with so little economic activity to sustain them. The sense of being left behind is palpable, not just from a bygone era of prosperity, but from the mainstream of contemporary life itself. This isolation creates a unique set of challenges. Access to services, from healthcare to grocery stores, requires long journeys. The social bonds that form the bedrock of a strong community are harder to forge and maintain across these physical distances. For the people of Hopkins Park, the struggle is a quiet, daily one against disconnection. It is a fight to maintain a sense of place and community in a landscape that seems to encourage solitude, where the land and the lack of opportunity conspire to create a world apart. We venture closer to the orbit of the great metropolis, Chicago, to a place called Sauk Village. This community was born from a dream of suburban expansion, a vision of neat houses, green lawns, and families flourishing on the edge of the city. For a time, the dream seemed to be taking root. Tracts of land were developed, and new homes sprang up, promising a piece of the American ideal. It was meant to be a haven, a place where the opportunities of the city were within reach, but the peace of the suburbs was home. But for many, that dream remained tantalizingly out of reach, its promise unfulfilled. The engine of growth that was supposed to propel the village forward stalled, leaving development incomplete and the community in a state of arrested development. The neat rows of houses are interspersed with vacant lots, like missing teeth in a smile. The planned commercial centers never fully materialized, leaving residents without the local amenities that are the lifeblood of suburban life. The vision of a thriving, self-sufficient community never came to full fruition. Today, Sauk Village grapples with the consequences of this stalled momentum. Fiscal strain hangs over the community, a constant pressure that affects everything from public services to infrastructure. High poverty rates are a stark contrast to the suburban dream that was once sold here. It is a place caught in a difficult limbo, not quite the bustling suburb it was meant to be, nor a rural town with a distinct, historic identity. It exists as a monument to an unfinished project, its residents living amidst the skeletal framework of a dream that never quite became a reality. Continuing on the periphery of the urban giant, we arrive in Riverdale. This town's fate is intrinsically linked to its powerful neighbor. Its proximity to the city is both a lifeline and a source of immense pressure. The community exists in the shadow of the metropolis, shaped by the economic and social forces that radiate outwards from its core. For some, it offers a more affordable place to live, a foothold near the center of opportunity. But this proximity also brings with it a host of complex challenges that are often concentrated in these bordering towns. Riverdale grapples with the spillover of urban problems without always having the resources to combat them. Higher crime rates cast a long shadow over daily life, creating an undercurrent of anxiety that frays the fabric of the community. Economic pressures are relentless. The industrial base that once provided stable, local employment has eroded, forcing residents to compete for jobs further afield, while the local economy struggles to find its footing. The landscape here is a mixture of modest residential streets and the aging remnants of a more industrial past. Social services, stretched thin, struggle to meet the needs of a population facing significant hardship. The support systems that can help a community weather such storms are under constant strain. Life in Riverdale is a daily exercise in navigation, a constant balancing act against forces that often feel overwhelming. It is a powerful illustration of how life on the edge of a great city is not always a story of opportunity, but can be a story of immense pressure, where the struggles of the urban core are felt most acutely. There are places on a map that the eye simply passes over, small communities that exist just beyond the spotlight of public attention. Dixmoor is one such place. Tucked away amidst a web of highways and industrial corridors, it is a village that many have overlooked. Its story is not one of dramatic collapse, but of a long, slow grind of persistent hardship. Here the challenges are not a recent development but a chronic condition, a daily reality woven into the lives of its residents for generations. The struggle is a quiet one, waged far from the headlines. Economic and social hardship are the dominant features of this ecosystem. Opportunities are scarce, and the path to prosperity seems to be a road that bypasses this village entirely. The physical environment reflects this reality. Infrastructure shows the signs of age and insufficient investment. Public services, from sanitation to emergency response, operate under immense strain, struggling to keep pace with the needs of the community. It is a place where making do has been elevated to an art form, a necessity for survival, yet to see only the hardship is to miss the full picture. Within this challenging environment, a powerful sense of community endures. It is a resilience born of shared experience, a network of neighbors who rely on one another in the absence of other support. Life in Dixmoor is a testament to the human capacity to find strength and solidarity in the most difficult of circumstances. It is a reminder that even in the most overlooked corners, there are stories of dignity and perseverance waiting to be told, if only we take the time to look. We journey to a place with a profound and proud history, the village of Robbins. It stands as one of the oldest incorporated African American municipalities in the country, a place founded on the principles of self-determination and community. Its past is a story of pioneering spirit, of creating a sanctuary and a place of opportunity when doors were closed elsewhere. This legacy is a source of immense pride, a powerful foundation upon which the village was built. But the currents of time have not been kind to this historic community. Today, a sense of stagnation is palpable, a heavy stillness that can be felt in every street. The vibrant economic life that once pulsed here has faded. Limited job opportunities within the village force residents to look elsewhere for work, draining the community of its vitality during the day. Businesses struggle to keep their doors open, their survival dependent on a local economy with very little to spare. The buildings themselves, many of which have stood for generations, show the wear of time and the lack of resources for their upkeep. The basic services that a community relies upon are stretched thin, a constant struggle to meet the needs of the population. The pioneering spirit of its founders feels like a distant echo in a present defined by scarcity. Robbins serves as a poignant example of how even a place with a powerful and significant history is not immune to the forces of economic decline. The challenge here is immense, to honor a proud past while fighting against a present where the very foundations of the community feel as if they are slowly eroding away. Our path leads us to Harvey, a city that once embodied the promise of the American industrial suburb. It was a place built on industry, a powerhouse of manufacturing that drew families in search of stable work and a good life. The city was designed for prosperity, with a grand vision of a bustling downtown, beautiful parks, and thriving neighborhoods. For a time, that vision was a reality. Harvey was a place of opportunity, a self-contained world where one could be born, educated, work, and raise a family, all within the city limits. But that promise has slowly, inexorably eroded. The decline of its industrial base was the first, most devastating blow. As the factories closed, one by one, the economic heart of the city was ripped out. The shrinking incomes that followed were not just a statistic, they represented a fundamental shift in the life of the community. The prosperity that had defined Harvey for so long began to drain away, leaving a vacuum that was soon filled by other, more destructive forces. Now the city contends with the legacy of that decline. Persistent crime has become a defining challenge, a symptom of the deeper economic and social decay. The once grand downtown is a shadow of its former self, its beautiful architecture marred by neglect and vacancy. The landscape tells a story of slow erosion, of a once solid foundation worn down by decades of relentless pressure. The people of Harvey live amidst the faded glory of a bygone era, their daily lives a struggle against the tide of industrial decline and its cascading consequences. We arrive in a small community that has often found itself in the spotlight, not for its successes, but for its struggles. This is Washington Park. Due to its proximity to a major river and a larger struggling city, it has frequently been highlighted as an epicenter of adversity. The narrative told about this place is often a simple one, a story of crime, poverty, and decay. And indeed, the visible signs of hardship are undeniable. They are written on the landscape, in the vacant lots, and the buildings that have seen better days. But to focus only on the struggle is to see with just one eye. To walk these streets is to witness something more complex, something far more powerful. Here, the landscape also tells a story of profound resilience. It is seen in the meticulously tended garden on a lot next to an abandoned house. It is heard in the laughter of children playing on a summer evening, their joy a defiant sound against the backdrop of hardship. It is felt in the strong grip of a neighbor's handshake, a silent acknowledgement of a shared journey. The people of Washington Park live a life that demands incredible strength. They are not defined by the statistics that are so often used to describe them. They are survivors, innovators, and keepers of a community that refuses to be erased. They push back against the narrative of despair with the simple, powerful act of living, of caring for one another, and of holding on to hope in a place where it is in short supply. This small community is a living testament to the fact that even in the most challenging of environments, the human spirit can, and does, endure. On the edge of the great Mississippi River, we find the city of Venice. Its name evokes images of canals and grandeur, a stark contrast to the reality of this industrial town. Its history is tied to the river and the rails, a place that once served as a critical link in the transport of goods and materials. The air here would have been thick with the smoke of foundries and the noise of heavy machinery. It was a place of work, a gritty, hard-working town that played its part in the great industrial symphony of the region. Now, a profound quiet has settled over the city. The forces of industrial decline and population loss have reshaped this community, leaving behind the echoes of a busier past. To walk through Venice is to feel as if you are walking through a memory. The streets, wider than the current traffic requires, feel empty and vast. The remaining buildings, many of them sturdy industrial structures, seem to wait for workers who will never return. The sense of a place built for more people, for more activity, is inescapable. The population has dwindled, leaving a small, hardy group of residents to navigate this new, emptier reality. They are the custodians of the city's memory, living their lives amidst the silent monuments of a more prosperous time. The river still flows, indifferent to the changing fortunes on its banks. In Venice, the past is not just a story, it is a constant physical presence. The echoes of industry and the ghosts of a larger population linger in the empty spaces, a constant reminder of the profound transformation this city has endured. Our journey concludes at the very southern tip of Illinois, a place of immense geographic and historical significance. This is Cairo, situated dramatically at the confluence of two of America's greatest rivers, the Ohio and the Mississippi. This strategic position once made it a place of immense importance. It was a bustling, vital river port, a gateway to the south, a hub of commerce, and a key site in the nation's history. Its grand, ornate buildings, now in advanced states of decay, speak of a time of incredible wealth and ambition. But the rivers that gave Cairo its life also, in a way, isolated it. As the nation's commerce shifted from waterways to railways and highways, Cairo's strategic advantage began to wane. This, combined with deep, searing social divisions, triggered a catastrophic decline from which the city has never recovered. The population has collapsed, leaving behind a ghost town of magnificent, crumbling architecture. To walk these streets is to witness a scene of almost post-apocalyptic grandeur and tragedy. The city now faces challenges that are almost overwhelming in their scale. Deep-seated economic and social problems are layered one on top of the other, creating a complex and seemingly intractable situation. Yet, even here, amidst the most profound decay, life persists. A small, tenacious population remains, bound to this historic, haunted land. Cairo stands as a stark and powerful lesson in how a place of such immense promise can be brought so low by the shifting tides of history, economics, and human conflict. It is a beautiful, tragic monument at the end of the road. Near the border, in the shadow of the Gateway Arch, lies Madison. This community's story is a classic tale of the American industrial heartland. Its identity was forged in the heat of steel mills and factories. For generations, life here was defined by the steady, reliable rhythm of industry. The town rose with the fortunes of its factories, providing a solid middle-class existence for thousands. The community was built by this industry, its schools, its parks, its very sense of self, all tied to the plumes of smoke that signaled a healthy economy. But, as with so many others, that era came to an end. The rise and fall of industry is a familiar narrative, but for those who live it, the experience is deeply personal. The closure of the mills was not just an economic event, it was an identity crisis for the entire community. The ground shifted beneath their feet, and the certainties that had defined life for so long simply vanished. The town was forced to confront a new and uncertain future, one for which it was not prepared. The residents of Madison today are masters of adaptation. They are living through this profound shift, navigating a world where the old rules no longer apply. The sense of identity is in flux as the community searches for a new purpose, a new reason for being in a post-industrial landscape. They are a people shaped by the dramatic swing of fortune, from the boom of the factory floor to the quiet uncertainty of its absence. Their story is one of adjusting to a new reality and trying to build a different kind of future on the foundations of a powerful, but now dormant past. Our final stop is in a place of deep historical resonance, the town of Brooklyn. It is widely believed to be the first town incorporated by African Americans in the United States, a beacon of freedom and autonomy established even before the Civil War. This legacy is its soul. It was founded as a refuge, a place to build a life of dignity and self-sufficiency. This history is not just a footnote, it is a living presence, a source of immense pride, and a foundation of an identity that has endured through every imaginable hardship. Over the decades, Brooklyn has faced immense economic challenges. Like so many of the towns on our journey, it is contended with a lack of investment, the loss of jobs, and the slow drain of resources. The physical signs of this struggle are evident in the landscape, but to focus on this is to miss the spirit of the place. The town's proud legacy has instilled in its people a unique and powerful resilience, a spirit of endurance that has been passed down through generations. The people of Brooklyn are the keepers of this extraordinary history. They are living proof that a community's strength is not solely measured by its economic output or the condition of its buildings. It is also measured by its spirit, its story, and the will of its people to persevere. In Brooklyn, the enduring legacy of its founders provides a powerful anchor in a sea of modern challenges. It is a testament to the idea that even when faced with overwhelming hardship, a community with a strong sense of its own history and identity can find the strength to carry on. Our journey through the quiet heartlands of Illinois comes to an end. We have traveled through towns shaped by rivers and railroads, by industry and isolation, by dreams fulfilled and dreams deferred. From the silent rails of Roothouse to the magnificent decay of Cairo, each place tells a unique story of transformation. These are not just collections of buildings and streets. They are living repositories of human experience, their landscapes imprinted with the triumphs and trials of generations. The wind that blows across these empty lots and vacant storefronts carries more than dust. It carries the echoes of a different time. These communities, though changed by the relentless pressures of time and economic hardship, are not dead. Within them, we have found a quiet but profound resilience. It is in the carefully tended gardens of Washington Park, the shared history of Robbins, and the enduring spirit of Brooklyn. It is in the faces of those who have stayed, the keepers of memory who navigate a challenging present while honoring a complex past. Their stories are not ones of failure, but of adaptation and survival in an ecosystem that has been irrevocably altered. To understand these towns is to understand something fundamental about the nature of change. It is to see how forces far beyond the control of any single community can reshape the destiny of a place, leaving its people to contend with the aftermath. My hope is not that you will judge these places for what they have lost, but that you will see them for what they still are. Testaments to the enduring strength of the human spirit. and a poignant reminder that every landscape, no matter how forgotten, holds a story worth telling.